Now, if you've been betrayed in adult life and you're going back and wanting to heal from being cheated on, your partner having spent all your money and didn't tell you about it, learn from it. Go back and go, why didn't I see the warning signs? Why was I attracted to somebody who's so dishonest and who's like that?
No disrespect, Tim Fletcher. Love your work. But the problem with Western thinking, it's not a holistic thought process. It's a linear thought process. No, it's not the child's fault. But Western science, right, doesn't include spirituality, intergenerational trauma. They're just getting there. Lipton's work, right? When he's talking about epigenetics. No, it's not the child's fault. However, it is the child's curriculum. Psycho-spiritual curriculum. The baton has been passed. Do you see? Listen, quantum mechanics is the most successful form of science humans have ever achieved. And it is ridiculously complex. Einstein died trying to disprove it, even though he was the one that opened Pandora's box. He said, oh, the quantum mechanics is incomplete. So is psychology. Do you see? Descartes, from the 17th century, said, hey, we got to separate spirituality from science. You remember the guy, I think, therefore I am, the guy who co-created calculus with our guy, Sir Isaac Newton? You got to remember, from the ancients, where the ancient melanated people from all over the world, we believe that science and spirituality, religion, all of it, same thing. The Westerner made it linear. So if you're looking at the word meditation from the Western perspective, from the etymological Western definition, it means to measure. But from the Eastern, when you're dealing with the Hindu, the immeasurable, that which can't be measured, that's how you tap in. From the Western side, that which is measured. See, the Western thought process is outcome-based. And that's how your relationships have begun. I didn't sign up for this. You don't know what your inner Judas is capable of or the role it's supposed to play in your life. It's supposed to put your wounds on trial like Christ was put on trial. Your inner Judas is trying to sacrifice. Ooh, the coping mechanisms that you use to survive. You can't thrive and survive at the same time. You see? So you hear a lot of clinicians with the Maya Angelou approach, and she's one of ours. She's one of our ancestors. You know? And we love her to death. But I've taken her quote and recontextualized it. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Hold tight now. Let's pack that in. Let's unpack that, as they say. Relationship is a mirror, though. See? Relationship is a mirror. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them, right? The first time. That's Maya Angelou. When somebody shows you who you are, believe them. That's my recontextualization. When somebody mirrors you back to you, believe the reflection you receive from them. We got Patrick Carnes out here talking about trauma bonds. Krishnamurti was in the born in 1890. What did he say? What did Murdy say? Relationship is a mirror in which you can see yourself not as you wish to be, but as you are. So do you see? I love Maya Angelou, and she's right. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them the first time. But also, when they show you who you are, you got to accept that reflection. So many of us are so arrogant. We think, I didn't deserve that. I'm better than this. How did I wind up here? You haven't crucified nothing. You ain't let your Judas loose. Let my Judas loose. Again, could every I need you actually mean I distrust my ability to stand alone? That needs to be crucified. That needs to be snitched on right there. How many of you, or how many of your sentences begin in self-deception and end in self-betrayal? This ain't gonna work. I'm flawed. The dismissive avoidant has a deep belief that they are flawed internally. They might not tell you direct, do you see? What relational contracts are encoded in the silences between your words? Oh my God. What do you call destiny, but is really the grammar of your trauma repeating itself? Listen to that. What do you call destiny, but is really the grammar of your trauma repeating itself? This is the mirror of relationships. Do you understand? Right? This is what relationship is for. It's for you to put those wounds on trial. It's for you to purge those wounds, but not aggressively, not violently. Through objective self-awareness, self-compassion, self-empathy, self-acceptance. Nah, we're running in reverse. Please accept me. Please acknowledge me. Please come from me. The wound is dictating. You got a false Messiah that was hurt a long time ago that ascended to the throne of your life. Do you see? You've got to employ the Judas of your spirit. Does that make sense? I know. How do we do it? There's a guy by the name of G.I. Gurdjieff. Look him up, G.I. Gurdjieff. I'm going to say it again because I'm saying it correctly. G.I. Gurdjieff. He had a practice called self-remembering. Self-remembering is a state of consciousness, presence, and self-awareness, right? Where one simultaneously perceives the external world and their own inner state rather than being lost in automatic thoughts or sensations. It involves recognizing oneself as the underlying awareness or seer that experiences the outer world and internal processes, leading to a feeling of being alive, awake, and present. This practice is central to certain spiritual and philosophical and psychological traditions, such as those of G.F. Gurdjieff, P.D. What's my man? Ouspensky, and Ramana Maharishi, and it aims to cultivate a sense of true self beyond the mechanical, automatic functioning of the mind. Right? Here are the key aspects of self-remembering. presence in the here and now. So many people are so worried about the outcome. They could be in the moment with you, but they still waiting until the food come. On their phone. They ain't got nothing really to talk about. On their phone, you out on a date, they looking at the phone. They scrolling. Or if you start talking about something that they don't have a point of reference for, they look out the window. There's no curiosity to stay in the moment and know what you're talking about. Key aspects of self-remembering. Awareness of awareness. A core component is being aware of being aware, rather than just being aware of objects or thoughts. With the advent of social media, avatars, right? Everybody got an avatar. Everybody got a profile. People have lost the art of presence. Not only for people around them, but damn sure for themselves internally. That's why when you really get together and you spend some real time with each other, start getting sticky. It becomes a situationship. Internal and external perceptions. Remembering is a state where one is looking both inward at oneself and outward at the world simultaneously. Imagine the level of awareness you have to be aware of what's happening internally and what's going on externally simultaneously. Imagine that level of awareness. I know clinicians that ain't that aware. Come on, man. Beyond mechanical thought. Now, mechanical thought could also refer to indoctrinated minds, which the mind is no longer spontaneous and creative. It is in a state of remembrance. It has an automatic memory for you. Oh, yeah, that reminds me of. So beyond mechanical thought, the goal is to lift oneself above habitual thoughts and emotions, which are often seen as automatic responses. Right? This is called self-remembering. Right? Resting in the source. How many of you really rest in the source? I'm not talking about the performance and the ritual, going to church, going to mosque, going to the temple. These are rituals, cultural rituals that are embedded. I'm talking about resting in source. Outside the temple, outside the church, outside the mosque, inside your hearts with each other. How many of y'all doing that? What needs to be crucified? See, that's who you sick your Judas on. Your inability to do these things. But maybe nobody told you, but now you know. Resting in source. It is similar to returning one's attention to its source, or to a fundamental self that remains when thoughts and feelings cease. Right? Practicing self-remembering. Observe without identification. Return attention to the source. Cultivate stillness. This is mindfulness, right? Not just self-observation. Do you see? This is the internal Judas. This is how you employ it. Or I should say deploy it. Send it out into your spirit. Does that make sense? They say, I don't even have an example of my lower self. I do. Conceit and pride. Believing you are always right and never admitting your mistakes. Selfishness, focusing only on your own needs and desires, even to the detriment of others? How can you ask somebody to look out for you and you don't even inquire about how they can? Listen, how they can. End result. I'm just here for the end result. And if you do it once or twice, they think, oh, it's an endless source of supply. I know this person will always help me if I ask. But never once ask, hey, how is your supply? I know I done asked a few times. Huh? Where the internal Judas at? Y'all scared tonight. Ain't nobody calling tonight because y'all scared. It's all right. I love y'all, though. When we come forward, I'm going to keep this can of whoop ass open.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Fabric Talk.
Hello, my love. I am your living room carpet. I see everything. I feel everything. After a while, I smell like everything, including Sir Pickles, who you snuggle with while binging that dating show you can't stop watching. So, how about we freshen things up with Febreze fabric spray? Oh, and a big spray for my pals, couch and ottoman. Ah, yes, refreshing. Breathe happy, Febreze. La 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 la.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you ready to be a part of the conversation that will help shape our nation's future? Get ready to join us for the Left Coast Forum, Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech, where progressive voices will come together to tackle the issues that matter most to working families across Los Angeles and beyond. From economic justice to climate action, from healthcare to housing, we're bringing together the brightest minds and most passionate advocates for real solutions and real change. With workshops, 2 major keynote addresses, and a closing reception with great music and good food. It's the Left Coast Forum, where your voice matters and your ideas take action. Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech. Brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the LA Progressive. The future won't wait, and neither should you. Mark your calendar now to be there and be heard. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I am Sir No, the boy of fun. I can't swim. I never could swim. I never will swim. I'll put me down. Let go my leg. I told you, you shut up. I told you I can't swim. Oh no. Put me down. I hate water.
you can dance underwater and not get wet. Oh! Psycho alpha disco beta fire alpha doodle. Let me down, knock on my neck. Psycho alpha disco beta bio aqua doodle. Psycho alpha disco beta bio human doodle. Water, let me go, put me down. You're all wet.
The immune system and emotional system have the same job. And they're no one system. So when something happens emotionally, it also affects the immune system. So when people suppress their emotions, they're also messing with their immune system. And that's why people develop autoimmune disease or other problems, not blaming anybody for this, because nobody does this deliberately or consciously. This is what happens in childhood. We're able to suppress ourselves. And so like I said about your mom, once I know that she has a certain medical conditions, like, and people will tell you their personalities.
Yeah.
And again, it's not their fault. It's how they're conditioned in childhood. So when you say you have to learn your boundaries, let me ask you a question. I mean, this is so obvious. Do you think as a one-day-old baby you didn't know your boundaries?
Do you think what?
As a one-day-old baby, did you think you think you didn't know your boundaries?
Of course not.
Yes, you did.
I did?
Yeah, if somebody tried to feed you something you didn't want, you'd go.
Oh, good point. Yeah, you're right, actually. Well, of course you're right.
And then a 1.5-year-old kid is, what are they saying all the time? What's the big word? They say no.
Mm-hmm.
They know how to say no. It's the first word they say, which is a boundary defense. No. So it's in our nature to have boundaries. Every animal has them. And something happens, so we have to suppress it. And so that's why in midlife or later on, then we have to find out or figure out our boundaries in therapy, because we had to suppress them in childhood.
How do you know, though, how to let that anger out healthily? Because, I know that in December I was really hurt by somebody in my life. And I've been meditating this last year and really trying to, focus on my healing.
The voice of reason back in the building, man. We're on fire. We do have callers. I'm going to get to them right now. We got Leroy from Inglewood. And we got Sean from Oakland, California. So we're going to go from Inglewood to Oakland just that quick. Hey, what up, Leroy? What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Greetings. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir. Good brother. Yes, sir.
All right. Wonderful. I want to sometimes compliment you, and then now I got to come back and be critical of you. You're putting these people on the priest path, knowing they're supposed to be eating, drinking, and being merry, and deal with their ritual, and go on and pay their tithe, and bring their grain offering, and you trying to put them on the priest path. You trying to sit them in front of Kajimni and on Ptahhotep and whatnot, and what's my man's name over in the book of Proverbs? You trying to, what is that, Proverbs 30 or 31? I can't remember which. I think it's Proverbs 30. They sitting in the feet of the professor, the wise teacher. This course that you're putting our people on, this narrow path, is not meant for most people. It's only meant for the disciples who are being trained, equipped, and empowered by the master teachers. And so this ain't meant for most folks to take their masks off and challenge them to go against the grain of their ego, to sacrifice the thing that they have propped up as their true self, that is in fact just a representative of self, to stop them from dealing with the true self. Right? So most folks ain't ready for that. It's dangerous to wake up a mind that's been asleep for too long. You got to get them early. You can't wait till folks got all hard and cemented, and that's you waited too long to get to them. I'm not telling you that you ain't already said. But I mean, if I did what you said do yesterday and today, I can't stay who I'm with.
Come on, Leroy.
I can't be. I mean, am I wrong or am I right? Am I wrong or am I right?
Leroy, it gotta happen. We in this time right now. It's gotta happen. I'm a herald. I'm here to herald the coming of something different, brother. It's gotta happen. Hey, Leroy, don't go nowhere. When we come for it, I'm going back to Inglewood to talk to Leroy.
Why should I hold my breath?
Feelings that I might choke. There's magic rhythm, one with the rhythm. Right through your nose, just like your face.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Misty Jordan with BIN News Now. New York Governor Kathy Hochul and New York City Mayor Eric Adams are reacting to President Trump's executive order that would withhold federal funding to cities and states that don't end cashless bail. Adams is a critic of bail reform, which was passed into law in New York in 2019.
We need to look at what we did with bail reform to make sure we didn't go too far in the wrong direction.
Hochul is accusing Trump of trying to throw gasoline on a fire. There may be a connection between popular weight loss drugs and a reduced risk of cancer. A study published over the use of GLP-1 drugs such as Ozempic and Wegovy showed the risk for overall cancer dropped 17%. And Spotify's adding a new chat option. Users can now share messages within the app. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Yeah, yo, come on. Come to
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah, gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey.
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it. Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power. Fight the power.
Yo, it's Zoe Williams, the VOR, and I know you're tired of pretty gems with pretty lies, where people seem to scroll more than they sweat. Well, it's time to level up. Welcome to Huff and Puff, where excuses die and champions rise. Smack dab at 1221 North La Brea on the corner of Fairview. This ain't a photo shoot, it's a battleground. Certified achievers in the game. Trainers who grind with you, not post pictures beside you. Whether you're chasing your next personal record or just trying to outrun your past, this is your sanctuary of sweat. No mirrors, no filters, no fluff, just pain, passion, and purpose. Stop talking, start training, huff hard, puff loud, be legendary. Where folks go to war with their weaknesses. Huff and Puff.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
People say, oh, you can't change human nature overnight. You're asking us to give up the ego. And that's the most difficult of all things to do. Actually, it isn't. Because the ego doesn't exist. But of course, if you try to give up your ego with your ego, then it'll take you to the end of time. Because this is the point. You can't transform yourself. You can't make yourself sane, you can't make yourself loving, you can't make yourself unselfish. And yet it's absolutely necessary that we be that way. It's absolutely necessary. If we are going to hand over the direction of nature to nature, which is what it comes to, it's absolutely necessary that we let go of ourselves and it can't be done. Not by anything that we call doing it, acting, willing, or even just accepting things. You can't do it. Why? Because you don't really exist as that kind of a separate ego or personality. It's just an idea based on a phony feeling.
Man, Alan Watts, what are we doing, Alan? The voice of reason is on complete fire. You know what it is. Live from Lamert Park, KBLA 1580, man. Everything about the station is progressive. This conversation is progressive. You've never heard anybody talk about relationships, spirituality, sociology, anthropology, the humanities, all wrapped into one. You've never heard it. And here we are, the voice of reason, acting a complete fool tonight. Religion, shamanistic traditions. And yet, my brother, my friend, my comrade from the city of champions disagrees with my approach. Please continue, my friend.
Yeah, all in love.
Yes.
Yeah, it is, man. Because you know how sometimes you've been waiting for something for so long, and then when you get it, you realize that it's gonna take a lot of hurt to get to the healing.
Yes.
And you want to see the healing as bad as you want to see the healing. You don't want to keep your eyes open for the hurt.
Oh, keep talking, brother. I hear you. Yes.
And so I'm listening tonight, and I'm realizing like everybody who got to every neo that there was had somebody holding their hands and putting their hands on their shoulder to guide them through, navigate them through to their reawakening and their resurrection point. They didn't go on those journeys by themselves.
Right.
You just got Huff and Puff, which is designed for people to work out. Even though you can work out at home, but I know you need some guidance. I know you don't have the discipline or the know-how of your physical body to sculpt and chisel and work on yourself consistently to get to the progressive perfection that you say you want and that you know you need. Alan Watts just touched on it. You got to deal with your ego, but you can't deal with your ego. You got to get help from somebody else. Try to deal with your ego. All right? Judas mad at Jesus, depending on which version of Judas you want to deal with. You got more than one different version of Judas and Jesus, but nonetheless.
Right.
Judas is upset with Jesus because Jesus tells him he's not trying to deliver a physical kingdom. And Judas is like, yeah, that's the whole reason I'm here, so you can get these damn Romans up off our back.
Right. Yep.
That's why I'm arguing with you, man.
I love
Get these Romans up off our back.
Right.
And so, I mean, depending on which version of Judas you want to deal with, the other version, he sends Judas to go get him because he's trying to save his son. I know that's far out for some folks. Nonetheless, you crucified my false Messiah.
Yes.
You tell me to take all my masks off, not my first mask, not just my second mask, but my fifth mask.
The fifth mask.
Right. You tell Maya Angelou that she's wrong, not wrong, but not always correct to say that when she says the first time you see him, that's who they is, believe him. Yeah, she's saying that because she was a molestation victim who, when she spoke up, they killed the people that did the molestation.
That's right.
You see, she's speaking from a place of deep, unresolved trauma.
Right. But wait.
You're talking about adult relationships.
Wait.
She's talking about
hold on.
from the childhood.
But wait. I did say she was right, though.
No, hold on. You said she was right with a certain context.
Yes.
The context being, can you see your own reflection in the thing that you're pointing at?
Yes, I just expanded on what she said. That's all.
That's right. You said that the external finger that I'm pointing needs to be pointed back internally.
Yes.
And I can't do that for myself, according to Alan Watt, unless I got some help from an outsider, according to the Book of Baton Hotel.
So who's the outsider here?
The outsider is me pointing at you.
No. Listen, you mentioned Neo. And you said Neo had Morpheus.
That's right, and Trinity and the others, yeah.
I am Zorpheus. You call in to the Nebuchadnezzar, brother. Why you playing? This is the Nebuchadnezzar now.
You
don't watch Star Wars for Yoda, you watch it for Zoda. Listen, that's what the voice is. Zorpheus right here. I said call in, no judgment. I'll walk you through it. Didn't I say that? Don't act like you ain't been listening this whole time now, Leroy. Come on.
Well, you gonna just conveniently just jump in the catbird seat, huh?
See, that's what I'm here for. I told you before the last time you tried to check me on this. What did I say? I said, my brother Leroy, I'm on purpose. I'm on purpose, sir. I'm doing what I have been called to do. Come on.
I'm not gonna fuss or fight with you on your calling. I just got to remind you every now and again, every once in a while, that sometimes the laymen are never prepared to be the leaders. And when you press them to leadership that they've never been prepared for, failure is much more likely than the success that you say that they should be striving for. And it's much easier to be comfortable. It's much easier to be comfortable with what you're familiar with than to move into the unknown territory without proper guidance.
Well, that's like the psychologist talking about your norm, your familiar, this template you live in that was created in early childhood, which turns most of your relationships into reenactments of that. I'm here as a disruptor to break those patterns, to break those chains, sir. We're not here believing that somebody with the spark of God in them has to stay in some type of social caste system that says you the regular commoner, you the layman. No, I don't believe in the layman. I believe that the layman can ascend just like the pawn, once you get it on the other side of the table, can choose whatever position it wants to play. We've got to imbue them with this freedom, sir. And we're not going to say they not ready or they ain't going to be ready. It's 2025. We got to change who we are today, sir. We can't be the same people we've been for the last 400 years. We got to be something different, and we got to go deeper now. What do you say to that?
I'm saying you should already have the organs playing behind you.
I ain't gonna let you try to call. I ain't gonna let you try to call my ministry into question, brother. I got people tossing and turning at night. I gotta keep it that way.
Come on, that was Zoe Franklin right there. That was Zoe King Carter right there, brother. That was Zoe Hill right there. Yeah. Where the organs at? That was right on point. Where the organs?
Hey, Leroy.
Yes, I love you, man. I keep up the great work. There we go. They late, but they coming, man. They late, but they coming.
Come on, man. You know I love you, man. I love it. Iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron, brother. This was a good conversation, but guess what you just did, my friend?
Hey, we bring the City of Champions in the building, and we just discovered that Zoda is also Zorpheus.
Zoda and Zorpheus. We all here together. We appreciate the call. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we going to Oakland and then Hawaii.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least least liked to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at quinemanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Ron had a tax problem he just couldn't handle on his own.
I owed the IRS taxes for over 5 years, but I didn't have any money to pay the taxes.
Those years cost him dearly.
Most of it was fees and interest. It was horrible.
Ron finally called in the pros.
I called Optima Tax Relief, and boy, am I happy I did.
The leading tax resolution firm, Optima, is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. They've resolved over $1 billion for their clients. Ron was overjoyed.
They settled my account with IRS. I was ecstatic. They are a lifesaver. They are. I am so happy.
Take Ron's advice and call Optima now for a free consultation.
Yeah, don't do like I did and wait. Call Optima Tax Relief. Do it now. You'll be ecstatic like me.
Call 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a Black and Brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
My playlist is my co-host. I've been bringing the funk all night. So the playlist had to be funky. You understand? The voice of reason, man, live from KBLA Talk 1580. Shout out to Leroy from Inglewood. Come on, we in the building tonight. I got callers on the line, so let me do this quickly. We got very limited time. Right? The time is limited, so I want you guys to roll through what you need to say ASAP. Can we do that so I can get everybody on the line? Can we do that? Remember, brevity. Let me get me. Brevity. Let me get it together. Brevity is the key. All right, let's get it. We got Oakland, California. Sean, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Brevity. So, the power of no, brother. You got to teach your kids the power of no, because they're going to be in situations in which they're going to have to not have a ambiguity about the answer. The answer is no. Use that and make sure that you never let anyone abuse you.
Love that. Love that. Love that. Hey, Sean, guess what you just did, my friend?
Oakland, love you, brother.
Town business. Yee. Sean from the Bay. You already know what it is. Who else we got? Hey, wait a minute. John, Mountain View, Hawaii. You already know who that is. That's Passa John. What up, Passa? What are your thoughts on tonight's topic, my friend?
Greetings and blessings to all within the sound of my voice. But if you weren't listening to the show, allow me to remind you of the enemy inside of you. And once again, thank you, Zoe, for letting me know the enemy inside of me.
Ah, man, appreciate you, brother. Hey, John, guess what you just did, man?
Mountain View's in the house, blessings all.
Mountain View in the house. Mountain View, Hawaii's on the board. Up, let's get LA back up in here. South Central. What up? You already know who it is.
Oh my
Our
God.
brother. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic, my friend?
Hey, how you doing, Zoe? Well,
good.
you know, you triggered me, man. I'll paraphrase to the best of my ability, man. The first video or soundtrack you played about the woman in reference to the betrayer and Judith and the miracle of God, or however she phrased it. It made me equate it to where Paul says, kill the flesh daily. And I equate flesh with, human mind, attitude, way of thinking in terms of that, your conscious, how your shadow man and all the above that you always refer to. Then the Spirit just pricked my spirit, and the Holy Spirit pricked my spirit and made me think about Romans 12:1, where you have to let your body be a living sacrifice daily, and do not conform to this world, but that you might be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And I equate that to the healing once you deal with the true self and take all the masks off. And it just made me think about some situations I've been through in terms of just dealing with people in society, because you played another clip about different people and how someone would try to think a person's supposed to measure up to how they feel, but you remember the clip. So anyway, all that just made me want to call in.
Man, I appreciate you, man. You know that.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
J-Dub.
Part of the Funkadelic Underwater Boogie, baby.
Come
I'm too
on,
cool
Aqua
to
Boogie.
dance.
You know what it is. Hey, J-Dub, guess what you just did?
Yeah, South Central in the house, my brother. Have a good one.
Yes, man. You too, man. I was going to go into this whole diatribe about Paramahansa Yogananda. I'm pulling from all over the world. Right? Examples from all over the world. Man, black people are magic. You remember that actor who did that speech when he said, "We are magic"? What was his name? Somebody Williams, the light-skinned brother who everybody, was it Jason Williams? Jesse Williams. Yeah. Jesse Williams. He said, "We magic." Leroy, I know you think our people as a whole ain't ready for this information. But I'm going to tell you right now, the Spirit is a bell that once unrung, or once rung, can't be unrung. And I think we're due for a good ringing. And I think this show serves that purpose. If you look at what's out there in comparison to what we're doing here, man, like I said before, this is probably the most progressive relationship conversation you're going to hear. You're not going to hear women ain't ish here. We're going to hold everybody accountable. KBLA just put out a clip of the show I did. We still got to do the men's version, but they just put out a clip, and I got women reaching out from everywhere. When I see you, Zoe, it's on. It's on site when I see. I'm like, yo, I just asked a basic question. Listen, this show is designed to trigger what you have habitually hidden, right? We claim we want what we want, but like you said, most people don't want to put in the work, but I'm going to trigger that work about you. That's what I'm going to do. Right? And it's happening. Listen, you don't have to agree. Right? You don't. I started the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. The VOR is back in here tomorrow with another slapper. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready.
Girl, you're looking sweet tonight. You got every day, girl. Wish that I could love you